They said they were hiking the loop and they were going to the street to go.
Wow.
I know. That's how much.
This waterfall you can hear going to the Privy. I was not there last night. I feel like I'm in Japan. Well, ambiance. The sun is out today though, so for now, that's nice. Good morning and welcome to day 51 on the Appalachian Trail, or should I say Appalachian Trail / creek this morning. It rained so hard last night. I was very grateful to be in the shelter because some of the tent sites are completely flooded this morning. It's crazy. I've never heard it rain that hard. And we've had some pretty serious nights of rain, but that was the hardest I've heard it rain since starting the trail. But anyway, I'm glad it's not raining today. It was basically supposed to rain nonstop for the next 3 days. So I'm embracing this morning of dry sun, a little bit of blue sky, and I've got some stuff attached to the top of my pack, hoping it'll dry out as I walk a little bit this morning. That's not a campsite you wanted to be in last night. It was so flooded, as is the trail this morning. Good thing my socks and shoes never dried, so. One of the things that can be really hard about trail is putting on wet, cold clothes the next morning. And yeah, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie about that. And there's really no way to prepare for that unless you just stick your clothes at home wet into the refrigerator and put them on in the morning. But it just requires mental toughness. And you kind of have no other option, to be perfectly honest. But it is nice, in a weird way, that my socks and shoes are already wet, because this morning I'm not trying to tiptoe around the puddles and figure out how to try to avoid getting them wet. They already are, so I'm just plowing right through. Also, when I woke up this morning, my feet were a bit swollen, and that's the first time that's happened to me on trail. The only reason I can think of, maybe, is because last night, the shelter that we were sleeping in, we actually had to flip around the way that we were sleeping because it was pretty much like on an incline. And you were sleeping at maybe a, 7-degree angle, enough to where you would slide a bit during the night, but not enough to where it's super annoying and it would spit you right out into the rain. But my feet were basically on like a downhill slope, essentially. So my guess is that is why they were a little bit swollen this morning. You know, if I wake up tomorrow and it's kind of the same, I will probably put on my compression socks, or I might, put them on tonight to sleep in and see if that helps a little bit. Bit of an overflow here. Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is, it's supposed to rain this afternoon and all day tomorrow. What is the trail gonna look like? This is pretty fun. I'm running into a few people who are southbounding back to Damascus to get there for trail days. And what that essentially means is that they got dropped 50 miles or 100 miles north and they're hiking southbound to get back to Damascus. However far ahead they thought they could essentially hike back before trail day starts. And so last night I ran into Frickles, who I haven't seen since Franklin. And then just now I ran into Papa Smurf, who I haven't seen, I think, since Hiwassee. It was definitely before the Smokies. And then apparently there's 2 more people who are coming who I haven't seen since Hot Springs. So it's actually pretty fun running into all these people who are heading Sobo, who I've been around, but just haven't seen because maybe they're a couple miles ahead or a couple miles behind. Well, this is all new and fancy. Woo-wee. That is some flow this morning. The people heading Sobo have had service a bit more recently than me, and they said today it looks like the storms are rolling in around midday. So I would like to get up and over this mountain. I think the name is Hurricane Mountain. There was apparently a rescue from a guy who was hypothermic yesterday at the shelter, which, yeah, if you did not have the proper gear yesterday, it could have been bad. But I was thinking, I was really grateful I did those extra miles coming out of Damascus, because that gave me the flexibility yesterday to stop after an 11-mile day and not feel pressed for time to get to Marion. And I'm just so glad I did those extra miles and not a 5-mile day. Y'all, I just sat on top of that mountain for almost an hour, because it's the first place I've had service in a while, and it's the only place that I will have service pretty much until I get into Marion, Virginia. And first of all, I needed to make a reservation. I was really hoping to stay at Long Neck Lair, which is an alpaca farm, but unfortunately the timing is just not going to work out for me, which sad, but maybe I can kind of walk past it and still see the alpacas. So instead I'm staying at the Mary Inn, the Mary Hiker, the Mary something in Marion. I wish I could remember the name. I literally just called them, but I'm staying there tomorrow night. So I'll get to partnership, and then they've got a landline phone where I can call to get picked up. And another guy I've been hiking with is staying there as well. And then they've got like a free slack pack option because of the town shuttle. So I might do that on Thursday, because this is what took so long. I just confirmed my reservation for a rental car from Wytheville, which is just north of Marion. And I'm going to pick that up Friday morning and then go back to Damascus for trail days. And as of now, I think I'm picking up 2 other hikers on the way back down, but I also haven't had service. So I don't know if that is still our plan. They were going to kind of try to see where they could get. And then if they were close to Marion, I was going to grab them and then go back down to Damascus. Thankfully, that sweet lady that I met at the library is going to let me park my car at her house. So that's nice. But that's just a bit of logistics that you guys really don't even need to know, but also need to know that there are some logistics that go into through hiking. But that's honestly, I've been waiting until I've had good service so that I could do both of those things. And I'm glad that they are done. And I'm glad I had good weather to sit up there for almost an hour and talk on the phone. So check for reservations for Marion. I'm also really excited because apparently there's a good coffee shop there that I heard about from Frickles. So I will be going there for sure. And then check to getting my rental car situation hopefully figured out. Like, the guy on the phone was having a very hard time with his computer, so hopefully that is actually sorted. I guess I'll find out Friday morning when I get there. Getting here into the Hurricane Mountain Shelter area, and there are these signs all around that basically say, do not tent here, because there are lots of widowmakers. A lot of you guys have been asking for a pack update, and I didn't want to give one after just a week of wearing it, but I feel like now I've been wearing it long enough to where I can actually give you an accurate update for how it's done in the rain, how it's done in the hot, how it's done on the ups, how it's done on the downs. And overall, I can say I am super happy with this pack. For those of you who missed my pack video where I got a new pack, this is a ULA Circuit, and they are designed for comfortably up to 35 pounds. I would say that's a bit of an exaggeration, because I think when I start getting between the 25 and 30 pound range, I feel it. So if I've got a 4 or 5 day food carry and I've for some reason got 1.5 liters on my back, it's not very comfortable. I would say this pack is great for someone who's fully loaded with 25 pounds and under. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling it. But that being said, right now I've got 2 days of food and 0.5 liter of water in my pack, and it hardly feels like I'm wearing anything, which is really awesome, because I would have felt it in my old pack for sure. But if you have got a good fully loaded pack weight of 25, 26 or less, then this is a good option for you if you're looking at packs, but obviously go and get fitted and all that stuff. Check them out for yourself. But for me, like I said, I see this pack carrying me to Maine. It's really great. It's fitting me well, and I'm really happy with it. You know, I love the stuff sack in the front of where, or I guess the back, depending on how you're looking at it, where I can just, on a rainy day, stick all my wet stuff there. I love the side pockets. I can grab my water bottles really easily. And I just really enjoy overall how it's fitting. It fits my frame. It's better sized for me, especially now that I've lost a couple inches around the waist. I know some of you are asking about weight loss, and for me, I'm still right at about 8 pounds that I've lost. And to be perfectly honest, I know this is the case with a lot of females. I don't really talk about weight a lot, but I fluctuate, 3 to 5 pounds, depending upon when my menstrual cycle is. And that's something I know happens with a lot of females, but it's like a taboo topic to talk about weight. But so honestly, for me, 8 pounds is not something I'm super worried about. I'm actually pretty happy. I've been hearing people who are dropping 15, 20, even 30 pounds by now, and they're really concerned about it because they're not getting enough calories. But I've been trying really hard, especially in town. I mean, in town, I've been having like 5,000 to 6,000 calorie days, which is insane, but absolutely necessary out here. I know this was supposed to be a pack update, but if y'all don't know by now, I like to yammer on, because what else am I supposed to be doing? Oh, wow. What a crossing. Far out today is like, cross a small stream, and then it's literally that. And stuff like this, it isn't even on far out as a water crossing. One of the guys I've been hiking with, he's just up ahead of me, just sent me a message via a southbounder that was going past. He was like, "Are you hiking with the guy?" I was like, yeah. He was like, "All right." He told me to let you know that when the paths diverge up here, don't go down to the waterfall. Like, that trail is flooded out right now, basically. And just stick on the AT, because he knows that I will side quest for coffee, good waterfalls, and good mountain views. And That's good info, because honestly today, with just how the water has been flowing that I've been going past so far, probably wouldn't have gone down there, but it's nice of them to pass on the message. Today's an eat on the go kind of day because I really want to try to get in as many miles while the weather is still nice. All right, here's the junction. High water route, that is what we are doing today. That's normally where you would go, but today, from all the advice I've been given, I don't really feel like wading through knee and waist deep water and bushwhacking for an hour. So instead, we'll just hike through a stream. At least it's only like ankle deep. If you're doing the trail and you take the high water route, the trail dumps you down here on the road. That's the trail right there. I just walked 0.4 down to the road so that I can walk 0.4 back up the road. I don't understand. I'm not endorsing bushwhacking, but just come down to the road. I'm glad I'm not crossing these. Well, since we didn't get to see it, we'll just say this is Commerce Creek Falls. Or, I mean, this is a bit better. We'll call this Commerce Creek Falls for today. Blue skies, sketchy skies with lots of thunder coming in, which means you might not see much more video from today. It's only 4 more miles to the shelter though, I think, or 4.5. So hopefully I can make it there in about 2 hours. It's pretty crazy blue down. Looks pretty recent. I'm gonna try and go this way to get around. I need my poles though. Oh, made it back to the trail. It wasn't too bad, but just took a little bit to get around. I'm only 0.2 from the shelter and it is starting to rain. I just need 5 minutes. 5 more minutes, please. We made it. Oh, why is there... Stop. Hammer time. Okay. Finished today at 14.1 Appalachian Trail miles here at Trimpe Shelter. Honestly, it reminds me of one of the shelters in the Smokies. It's got a fireplace, it's stone, pretty cool. Today was overall a really cruisy day. The miles were fairly easy, which was very nice, and minimal rocks, and we did not get rained on. Honestly, that is the highlight of today. Tomorrow, heading to Partnership Shelter, where we're going to get picked up and head into Marion to resupply and eat lots of good town food before heading down to trail days. So, gonna cozy in for the night here, make some dinner, eat lots of food, and get all set up. But I'll see you tomorrow for another great day of hiking.